that was a fairly short break, but I didn't particularly need a long one. Welcome back, if you are coming back, and hello again if this is the start of a video on YouTube. I am probably Mothman, you're you, this is Valheim, and I've been doing a stream for a little bit. As I look at the clock right now, it seems I've been going for about 2.5 hours, so I think I'm only going to do about one more little chunklet here. And the intent is to try and... always hit save. The intent is to, I think, start getting some kind of building going up here. So, if we know that down here is going to be some kind of cellar type thing, then that means I know I can come in here and start just kind of using this as a sort of a guide, just to sort of see about where everything's going to sit. So, we bring you out to there. Here and just slap that down there. So that's there and there. So that like that. And if we did it on that side, then that leaves us with just enough room to do whatever the heck this is going to be. My basic thought is, you know, this being some kind of basement or... well, I guess it's already kind of a crypt by nature, but, you know, just a... I don't know. I don't fully know what it's going to be, but it'll probably end up being the first, probably end up being the first little place I end up raiding for iron. So I guess our goal is to just get this sorted well enough to do iron smelting, I suppose. I need a lot of stone. Just that tiny zone. Okay. So come up here, and then my thinking is that maybe straight off of this, and we'll use some of these to determine what, you know, straight off of this is. We will come over and start probably just building up here. Because I think between all of these, I should have a decent amount of support if I wanted to build up high. The biggest problem is just kind of orientating so the branches there don't get in the way. Of course, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done too many like aerial builds, to be totally honest with you, so I'm just sort of still debating on how and where I want to do this. I do think this, like, leading straight over to it's still probably a good move, though. But we will let that be. We'll let that be that. So what happens if I let this just come up here? Like we'll need basically some iron reinforced stuff to be able to run from that tree to that, but what if we can be quick enough with this, I might be able to get away with it. Yep. It's been. Nah, I can't quite slip up through there. Okay, but if we can get up to here, give or take. Well, what can we do going over the other way? Fine. I will put a support piece in here. There. Definitely still recording. Sorry, I just wanted to double check that I still had the audio going. Pick up a couple of stone here, and here is the wood that I need. Can I take one more stack? I can. Cool. So. I think this is an okay height. Okay, yeah, that snaps into that one. Does this, like, those branches coming in aren't too bad. And if we do this should theoretically also minimize the amount of troll bullets I need to dodge, and by troll bullets I mean big heckin' rocks. So this is not a huge amount of space, but also not a terrible amount. So let's go off the assumption let's do two things. Let's go off the assumption that we can just kind of send a lot of supports to the trees. I think that this is probably an okay height. Like, I think, like, the raised ground obviously makes it kind of, like, monumentally safer anyway, but I don't know, a little bit of height's also not bad. Okay. So that gives us a bit of a floor base, and if we were to say do something like this, what kind of shape do we end up with? Okay. Promising. Ooh, did I secretly do this at the perfect size? I might have. Cool. Alright. Let's... Wow, I might have actually really nailed this. Let's see. Ah, yeah. That's pretty gold. I guess now do we just send one across there? Yeah, I think we do. Cool. Yeah, alright. Now, I'd probably most prefer core wood for this. But if I do that, I'm willing to bet I can take those out. And That's a little messy, but I also don't mind how... I don't mind it just kind of dipping into the tree like that, so... Alright. So, what if we also just ran those to the tree? It's not ideal, but it's also not terrible. And we'll basically let the sides be a little weird as they need to, but... the next step... Well, this is, I think, going to be a cozier little space. I think I'd like the wood bars on the inside. Do that and that. Not too worried about the end pieces. And then we might extend this out a little bit if it's not quite enough room, but I'm less worried about that right this second. Yeah, we'll just go through the wall. And our goal here is some wood and some core wood, which we should have tucked away here. 2 stacks of regular wood, and let's see if we got a core wood stack. Yes. Stone we'll leave here. Grab one more of those? No, we cannot. But we can do 2.5. 15 stone for a hearth. So my question sort of becomes, can I like stick this half off of this side? If I put that there, could I? Okay, so that does not want to live there. But I can also think we have a little bit more stone over here. Cool. We are going... Oh, we are going to make a quick little choice. There. We build. One. 2, 3. Why are we doing this, you might ask? To give some proper support. I'll eventually find the right button. Now let's go here. And I'm willing to... Okay, so that works now. Coolio. Don't know that that's how we're going to leave it, but it is good enough. And good enough is great. So let's... that. Do that. And for right now, we're gonna do this a little quick and dirty. But it will... If I am not mistaken, this will at least count for a fire. Okay, coolio. Let me take some of this core wood, because it will do a touch of a better job. That. So both of the corners are pretty well held up. These might as well. Not really what I was hoping to have happen. But I do have to wonder if I can use this as an opportunity to see, like... Well, you know what, it's free archery experience, so we'll take it for what it is. So we might want to add like a little bit extra dirt here, because they, like, trolls can get a little close to swing, but admittedly the parts they're hitting are more for aesthetics than 100% for support, so we might be okay. There we go. So a roof is basically our goal up here. Actually, one thing that I do want to go and get is... I might have to go a little far for it, depending. Need to go get some resin. I think I have some knocking around down here, though, so get what I can, and then... Gunk. Resin. Bring along 2 stacks. Pass it to daytime so I can actually see what I'm doing. And I think once we get the roof on this place, that's when we're gonna call it. I've been playing for a good long while, and I should, well, I should probably give myself a break here. I suddenly feel like I might want to put some kind of back on that portal. This is why I wanted to get the resin, because it will make it a lot easier to see what's in here. And if I can see, I can build. How many core do I have? I have probably enough to get away with this. If I come over here... Because my thinking is this gives all of the, gives me like a roof that has a similar height I can kind of drag things across. So, what do we want to do? I think... I think the way that we combat this being like kind of a small floor plan is to just give it some height so that we can... I think back here we might just like kind of seal off. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal to... We'll even do just like the smaller one there. Or you know what? I know just what to do. There we go. Then that way that's kind of like a natural little... semi-natural little window. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Alright, so... Actually, there's a heck of a question. Can we... Yeah, because that's just... That doesn't get in the way there, so... Need to actually turn on the snapping. Of course, we're going to put an actual roof on this thing so that we're not dealing with the water degradation, but I also sort of want to do these so that I can get a sort of an understanding of what space the roof needs to cover. So we're gonna make that the shape. I think if I come down here, I'm not counted as being in a shelter because I don't have the... Are you just shooting at the underside of my house? Where are you? Sent them right back to skeleton hell. How much more wood do we have? Not a lot. How much do I need for a bonfire? I think I need fine wood for that. Yes, I do. And a surtling core. So probably not going to happen here. But I do have 50 wood now, and that's enough to at least get started on a bit of a roof. So what we'll do is we're going to pop this out by half. We'll figure out how it needs to go over the fire pit there, but each of these sides needs to go out a half. And, you know, I think we'll do a... Well, steep roof might be wise, let the water flow off a little faster. We're gonna let them go a little long. Let them, two, probably? There we go. Just kind of meld into the trees for their anchorings. over here, we're gonna have to actually support them, I realize. Well, we just... Oh, my hammer broke. Wild. Is this still operational? Yes, it is. And I have exactly 5 pieces of wood, so I should probably go grab a couple more from stuff. Doing that so that I don't have to run down the stairs every time. Swamp Light should put me right by the, what's the word? It'll put me on the ground floor, and I know I've got, like, wood in a box here. I got this wood in a box. I need to find a use for bone fragments. Methinks, methinks. Alright, well, we're cleaning out some wood, which is good. Oh, if we were to say put that back. And probably those. Alright. Oh, and we don't even have to run upstairs. We can just go into the Swamp Light portal. Okay. I wasn't sure how that was going to look from the ground floor, but I don't mind that. Okay, come over here. Put that there. Let's see if we can take it up one more before we need to worry about more support. Okay, we got enough for me to get away with this, I think. Just add a little bit more detail to the roof. And I might even keep this ladder heading up to like an attic type area. But I think I may need to... might need to run some supports over like that. And I will probably just end up needing to go back to Stonegate for some more wood. We'll do that. Slightly shorter roof to add a little bit of A little bit of different style up in the roof. How much would we got left? We got 15 pieces. That's not a lot, but like every other one of these as a support. And then we'll take that wood and run it along this way. Alright. Definitely need some more wood, which we have plenty of. I'm going to leave a stack of stone here, because actually, you know what, before we go back, I will pull this back out and we'll finish doing some of the stonework here. Probably isn't. It's not going to be like the prettiest thing, but this at least gives some explanation for why the gives some explanation for why the hearth is supported the way it is. That's fine, though. That's fine. There we go, then this comes up here, this gets up to here. Okay. So we'll get a little bit more wood to fill in the walls here, but that's really not doing too bad. Go get that wood, let's do that last bit of construction, and we'll tie it off there. Gold. That goes there, that goes there. So much troll hide. Rather than have the portal like back up on top of the back of the sunken crypt, I will probably move it to somewhere a little bit less obtuse. Can I swing one more? Okay, I can swing 4 full stacks. Cool, that should be plenty. How long are we? Okay, we're at like 45 minutes, so yeah, if I can do this in like 15, I'll be happy with that. plan is there, but... Let's see, so if that's lined up that way, then... It should... technically not be this way, but since this is like a unique little 3-wide area, we can disrupt the pattern a little bit. Okay, we won't be able to really do much over there. Put that there just so it kind of matches up, but not gonna worry about that. Yeah, we'll leave most of the bars on the inside, I think. I wonder how much of the stream is me just saying, there we go. Oh. Yeah, actually, I'm not too thrilled by that. Let's, we did something like this. That's a wraith. Those things ain't fun. Let's just see if we can. There we go. As long as enemies aren't detecting you, you can sneak in a little bit of a sleep. I do think that that kind of pattern is what I'm going to do for just kind of the windows here. What we'll do for this one is over, go back up. Interesting. There we go. That gives it just a little bit of, like, shape over there. And then... I really like having the walls open like this. I know it's probably not the best idea in, like, a swamp, given, you know, bugs and such, but I don't know. I like being able to see out into the swamp. Now, what space do we have knocking up here? Because I know this isn't a lot, but it's not a bad amount either. I'm willing to bet we could even close that off a little bit there. Okay. So that's the room we're working with up here. It's not a lot. And I don't know how to close it off fully until I, like, figure out some stuff here, but maybe what we do is we just make use of these corners. That would help if I use the right size for... Well, no, this is the right kind, yeah. Yeah. Would it be better to do this? I think this will work. Because that's one wide. If I were to... I don't even know. Guess I just take it in like that. Then I don't even know. I guess take one of these and do like this. busted that open. Did like one of these maneuvers. And one of these maneuvers. It's not grand, but also it shouldn't put the hearth out or make the smoke back up too much. Make sure that doesn't look too heinous from the outside. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Alright, we're gonna sort of try to work our way up here, and then we'll see what we can do. One of those, I think. What if we did like straight back, one over, straight back, one over, one over. No, we didn't. Nope. Oh, am I that low on wood? Did not realize. Alright. 2. Oh, those look very different for where they're sitting. Why is that, I wonder? Oh, those are different heights, I think. Okay. I think those might have only existed to help me sort of sort the height of the original bar. So I guess we can just break those. And, yeah, we'll just, there we go. Now, I'm far from calling that perfect, but I mean, this is at the very least a reasonable place for us to sit around and do some of our smelting and crafting and such. I think what I'll do is I'll slap the bed upstairs. A little harder to get to, but like just a smidge safer. For warmth, we'll put it right here. And we'll come in and add some comfort items to kind of help pad out that comfort. Press 8, like that. And then what we'll do is we'll put a crafting bench over here, sort of looking out over the swamp. And how much would we have? We got like 11 pieces. What if we were to do something a bit like this? Is that? Yes it does, yes it does. Lovely. So that's a little bit of an easier way to get up onto this. Like, you still gotta fight the tree trunk a little bit. That is not bad. Alright. Got a couple holes to still fill up, but I'm honestly starting to run out of energy a little bit for Valheim. So I think this is a good place as any to pause it. We got a swamp base with raised terrain. We have... I should probably still block that portion off. We have many, many different swamp sunken crypts marked, which is pretty good because it means we should be able to run around and, you know, actually get some iron. Now, sort of like I had mentioned, I'm going to have to go back to second lamp to break down some of those break down some of the things I already had there, but this is looking pretty good. In fact, I am going to do one last thing before I dip, and that's just because we noticed that one corner over there having a tendency to let monsters a little close. We're just going to collect all of those because I don't think we are going to need them much more. 6, 34 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20 left. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well. Still should be okay. Do that. That pushes the land back a decent amount. Alright. That's looking good. I think I am gonna greenify this place a little bit, because I haven't seen too much green in the swamps. Like, it's always so low that you're gonna get a lot of the, like the marshy muck looking stuff. So I think we, you know, we let some of this greenery bloom. Now we are during the daytime here, or we are playing during the daytime here in the swamp, so I don't know that it's ever going to be much brighter than this. There we go. Relatively sparse, all things considered, but, you know. It's still a nice little grassy area, which I like for my bases. I can't say that it's, you know, it's perfect all around, but that's not bad. Let's maybe grab that portal, throw it upstairs, and then that'll really be the last thing I do. That'll shout at me every time I come down the stairs, so maybe not. Maybe what we do is we'll hide that, like, right over here. Okay. we'll consider that. For now, we'll put that there. It's not perfect, but the goal was done, not perfect. We could even do like a little covered walkway coming down to this. We'll do like a little, maybe a broken path, just like down to the witch, like something with just enough of a gap creatures can't necessarily run across it. I think whatever we make face the plains down this way will be, because admittedly I don't know how big this landmass is. I really just discovered the tip here, but I'm thinking whatever faces the plains I will make a bit smaller, or not smaller, but I will make it be the gate they can actually attack during raids. But that is a concern for another time. I'm going to sit and dry myself before the fire and enjoy Comfort 5. Honestly, kind of impressed by that. This ain't a bad little swamp house. Normally I'm not building in the swamps. It's more of just a, put a little outpost around a portal kind of thing. This is a little bit more involved than what I normally do, and honestly, I'm enjoying it. I hope this was a fun ride for you. I don't think I was talking too much here at the end. But thank you for coming along if you did, whether you did it in the present or did it in the future via YouTube. See you around next time. Peace and love, everybody.